You are scared as an individual, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose everything that I've worked so hard for?
I feel I went through hell for 6, 7, 8 months, just to get them a Christmas present. That's ridiculous.
Every year, millions of Americans walk into a payday lending store to borrow a few $100s of cash, thinking the loan will help them scrape by for another week or two. What they don't understand, and what many people don't understand, is that they have walked into a carefully designed debt trap, and they are likely to be caught in the loan for much longer than they planned at interest rates of 400%.
The long-term debt trap dynamic really has horrible financial consequences for families. If you look at payday borrowers and compare them to similarly situated people that haven't taken out a payday loan, they're more likely to be delinquent on their credit card payments, be late on their bills, delay medical care and prescription drug purchases. They're more likely to lose their bank account because it's been overdrawn too many times. And ultimately, they're more likely to file for bankruptcy.
Payday lending hits people of color particularly hard. A California study of their locations found that payday lenders are nearly 8 times more concentrated in neighborhoods with the largest numbers of African Americans and Latinos.
The problem that I am really concerned about is that our young people will grow up thinking that the payday lenders represent the bank.
It will take decades for these families to recover the wealth that they've lost through predatory lending practices.
I knew a young lady who had good credit, paid her bills on time, but went to rental centers. Not because the rental center had the best term, but because her parents went there. And so that's the problem I see with payday, is that children or young people will continue to go to payday lenders because they think that they're actually getting something of value.
So how does this payday lending debt trap work?
Well, payday lenders say their loans are only to be used for rare financial emergencies, but the way they structure their product really sets borrowers up for failure. And that's because the loan is often due in just 2 weeks in full. And so it's very hard for a borrower to pay back their loan on a single paycheck without taking another payday loan. So oftentimes borrowers are taking out a new loan every pay period, and that's the start of a long-term debt trap. So for a $300 loan, you may have to pay back $345 in 2 weeks. And that equates to an APR of around 400%. And the industry depends on repeat borrowing for the bulk of their revenues. So those few borrowers who can actually take out just one loan a year and walk away really don't account for much of the payday lending industry's revenues.
In Arizona last fall, the payday lending industry spent $14 million to campaign for a ballot measure that would have legalized 400% interest and stopped a 36% cap from taking effect in 2010.
The industry decided to put a ballot initiative during the election period. And deceptively, they named it Payday Reform.
All the money in the world is on the other side. All we have is common sense and the voice of consumers in the state of Arizona saying, let's not perpetuate a disastrous situation.
And that's what my issue is with payday lenders. When these families that are cash-strapped, that clearly need access to money, go into a lender, that the laws protect their interest too.
They are being deceitful with the voters, and they are trying to trick people into letting them stay in business while making them think that they are reforming the industry. In my book, lowering an interest rate from 458% APR to 391% is no reform.
So we're fighting against it, and we're hoping that everybody will vote no on Prop 200.
The payday lenders ballot measure failed in Arizona by a 60 to 40% margin. Arizona will be the 16th state to eliminate payday lending by enforcing an interest rate cap of around 36%. In 2006, Congress passed a cap on loans to military families to protect them from predatory lenders who were targeting and trapping them in 400% debt.
My question is, if it is good for our military personnel, why is it not good enough also for our teachers and our firefighters and first responders, medical personnel, and just the general public?
Congress is now considering a usury cap of 36% interest for all families to end once and for all the 400% debt trap of payday lending and similar quick cash scams.
I just felt beat down. You know, I just thought I was on a merry-go-round that I was never going to get off.
Should shut these places down because they're ruining decent people's lives.